Hit it. Yo, welcome to Cavernícola Network. My name is Calitizo. I'm here with Sensei and El Bola, and we have
Meet you.
Matt Frevola in the house. What's up, Matt?
The
Yo, how you
steamroller.
guys? How we doing? How we doing?
How's it going, man?
Hey, Matt, who gave you that sick nickname, man?
That was actually my uncle. He's from Boston, and like after my second amateur fight, him and my dad were watching, and they're like, "All right, he needs a nickname. He needs a nickname," and they came up with the Steamroller Frivola. It's got to roll off the tongue.
It
That's
does.
hard.
It does.
Nice,
I like it. I like it.
nice.
Especially
Yeah,
with the Boston accent, right?
yeah,
Steamroller.
exactly. And I was steamrolling people, just running through everybody in the amateurs, and it stuck.
Heck yeah.
Sure was.
Heck yeah.
Oye, Matt, can you give a shout out to our Cuban people down here in Miami in Spanish? Can you say, oye, que hola, mi gente?
Yo, que hola, mi gente.
There you go.
Hey, that was
That's pretty
good.
good. Hey, Dawi, who did it better, him or Billy?
Billy needed some reps. I don't know. All it just flew
He just
off.
roll off his tongue, man. It
Yeah.
just it's natural.
Oh,
It's just
Mi,
natural.
am-
okay,
mi
okay.
amo Mateo. I got poquito español.
There
Okay,
you
there
go.
it
I see, I
is.
see.
There you go.
Yo, let me ask you, fresh off the fight last night, bro, has somebody ever asked you if you're family with a Canelo?
Oh, all the time, man. All the time. I love it.
You guys
They
look
either
like
if
related.
if they're like an MMA fan, they say, "Oh, you look like McGregor," or if they're a boxing fan, they go, "Oh, you're Canelo." And dude, it was a funny story. So I was in Vegas once, and I was cornering one of my teammates, and I was in the hotel, and I had all my UFC gear on, and there were all these Mexican fans there, and they come up to me because they saw me in my UFC stuff, and they're like, "Oh man, you look like Canelo." And I was like, yeah, I'm the UFC version of Canelo, and they loved me. They were so cool. And then they gave me $1,000 chip.
Whoa.
They tossed me a chip, and they were like, and I was like, I looked at it, I was like, are you serious? They said, oh, for your camp, for your camp. It was one of the kindest like random acts of kindness that's ever happened to me. It was crazy.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that's nice,
awesome,
man.
man. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. That's awesome. I like
All
that.
right, so Matt, let me ask you something. If the UFC were to start like three new divisions and they can fluctuate in weight, right, like 10 to 15 pounds each, and these three divisions will be for the BMF, do we see you in there? And if so, who will be two names that you will pick to dance?
Oh man, the BMF. I love the BMF, and I think you can't have the BMF without Justin Gagey. Justin Gagey
Hmm.
is definitely top on the list. He's one of my favorite fighters, and I mean, for me and him to be in there, it would be chaos. So I'd say Justin Gagey, and then I think you got to put Masvidal in there. I think he's the OG. Jorge Masvidal's the OG BMF, so I'll throw him in there.
Nice.
So you mentioned Gagey. You think he will give you the best bonus fight chance ever?
Oh yeah, Justin Gage, he's the human highlight, and I think me and him would be just insane.
So
Banger.
since you brought it up, what do you think will happen? Who wins if there's a tag team? The Ferbola twins and the Ferbola and the Gagey twins.
Oh man, I mean, I hope that my brother could beat up his brother. Me.
That sounds like a middle school stuff.
Go ahead, Bola. Go ahead. Ask your questions,
The
man.
cheese roller.
No, no,
Because
no.
you know
Keep
me,
going.
I have like 50 questions in here.
Go, go, go.
So
I know you got a whole bunch, man.
no,
Keep
no, no.
going.
You go. Dale, go.
No, no, no. I mean, I'm not a 100% follower for UFC, but I do know the big names, and I know Matt and then his recent fights and stuff, and I watch him as well. Very, very complex fighter. Very, his technique is very good. To get into that, Matt, just started off here. How do you start doing this? How do you become the fighter that you are today? Do you go back and review your fights? Is this something that you strategy that you have to your advantage?
Yeah, you have to constantly evolve in the sport. I started, I was a high school wrestler. I was a tough guy playing football, and uh, and then I found jujitsu. I started training with Matt Serra. I came down to Tampa. I tried and started training with Matt Arroyo, with David, and all those guys down there. And I started submitting people. Using my jujitsu, and then you had to keep evolving. You want to get to the highest level, you have to be good at everything. So I fell in love with Muay Thai. I fell in love with kickboxing and boxing and the sweet science of boxing, and started really dialing in my striking and my stand up, and started knocking people out. And now, I got to keep evolving. I got to utilize, all my skills in the right way against an opponent, and use them against a specific opponent. So it's just the constant evolution and growth.
Yeah. As far
Yo,
as the you mentioned evolution and growth. Every fighter at the beginning, it has that doubt. Do I really belong here or not? What moment? What was a moment for you where I'm like, heck yeah, man, I belong here.
Yeah, man, I was an undefeated amateur. I was a 9-0 amateur, and then I was 6-0 at pro. And then before I got into the UFC. So when I got into the UFC, I had never lost. And then my UFC debut, I come out there and I get knocked out in the first round, and that was a real wake up call for me. I was because before that I was just like, oh, I'm the steamroller. I'm just gonna go steamroll this guy. I didn't really. Watch film. I was more I didn't I wasn't very, tactical. I was just focused on what I was gonna do. But after my UFC debut, I realized, this is the highest level, and I really have to go in there and break down my opponents and come in with a game plan, and be tactical and be smart with my approach. And then my second UFC fight was at Madison Square Garden, and it was against Lando Venata, who was way more experienced than me. He had fought Tony Ferguson. He had fought a lot of big names, and it was my second UFC fight, coming off of my first loss at Madison Square Garden. And I really, I put in a great camp like I always do. I went in there and had an insane fight. It was crazy back and forth, and it ended in a draw. And like it
Wow.
wasn't even technically a win. But after that fight, I was like, all right, I belong here. I can hang with these top dogs.
Heck yeah, heck yeah.
hey, you mentioned strategy, and you also mentioned training there with Matt Arroyo in Tampa and Dowie. What about your boy Billy Q? I saw you guys grappling there a few times when I went to visit Dowie, and I know you guys kind of like suffer from like the same syndrome, like the slug fest, and you guys. So every time you guys are fighting, I always get like a heart attack. It's like I call my brother. I'm like, man, these motherfuckers, they're driving me nuts, man. Why they do that? Like the other day, Billy Q was winning the fight, and suddenly it's like, why is he engaging? And I seen you do the same in the past. What is it with you two? That always do that. Like at one point, is that going to stop, or that's just who you are, and you guys, that's the game plan?
I mean, we're fighters in the end of the day. We love a good fist fight. And at the highest level, the competition. Everybody's good. So it's sometimes it comes down to to who's got that dog. And me and Billy
Mm.
Q, for sure, we got that dog in us. And when everybody's good, it comes down to who wants it more. And we want to go in there and have a clean win, a clean fight. Get in there and just you know go to work. And but it's not always like that.
Does anybody
You
come to mind that you would like to see Billy Q smash?
Yeah,
Mm.
I want I wanted him to see him fight. What was that guy's name? Nate the Train.
Low
Oh
rap?
yeah.
Yeah, Nate the Train. I thought that would have been, because Nate the Train is also like, he's a dog too. So him
Right.
and Billy Q would have been a crazy fight. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see it down the road.
That'd be a
All
good
right,
one.
let me ask you: if you were to have a chance to get a fight back, who do you get without a doubt? Do you go back to Terrence McKinnon or Ferris Young?
Well, I mean, that Terrence fight, I definitely would want back. We didn't even get the fight. You know, he came out, he threw a perfectly timed 1-2, put me out, but little early stoppage in my opinion. But if I could get one fight back, it would be the BSD fight. That BSD
Okay.
fight. You know, I was on a 3-fight winning streak, and we were on the main card at Madison Square Garden. Trump was fucking front row, and I remember you know, being in there and feeling his strength, and I was like, I could take this guy. Like, I picked him up, I slammed him, you know, I felt his grappling. I could have out grappled him, I could have knocked him out, but again, you know, at the highest level, he threw a perfectly timed, you know, head kick, caught me, and that was it.
Matt, what do you think about fighters doing the teabag motion after the opponent is down, is done?
Yeah, I mean, I think you gotta show a little bit more respect than that. But you know, I think everybody's got their own backstory. You know, I'm thinking about Stylebender when he did that to Polo
Mm.
Costa, and I know they were like talking a lot of smack before the fight. They had, you know, high emotions in that fight, and Stylebender is definitely like an emotional guy, you know. So, but I think like you get the knockout, like you won, you know. Yeah, you could celebrate, but you got to I mean, you can't be doing stuff like that after you
So
just won.
I
Show
was
some
thinking more
class.
like Paddy Pimblet because I know in the
Uh,
past you guys
oh
have
yeah,
your
that
thing
that
going
too,
on.
that too. Yeah,
So
Patty
is that ever
Pimblett's
going to happen?
he's Patty Pimblett's another guy. He's just an emotional guy, and he's always putting on a show. And I think you win the fight. You know, you already won the fight. You showed your dominance. You know, have a little class, show a little respect. But I think that's the martial artist in me. You know.
Matt, you seems like a genuinely a very nice guy. So I want to ask you: is there any guy that you dislike in the UFC or any other MMA organization that you would really like to make an example of? Like, man, you know, hell, I'm always nice,
This is
but
the
this
guy.
guy,
Yeah,
he's gonna get
yeah,
it.
one of
He's gonna
those.
get it. Fuck him.
I mean, we were just talking about Patty Pimblett. That was the guy I
There
wanted
it
to
is.
humble. I wanted to serve him some humble pie. And but I called him out, you know, and he just ran from me,
Yeah,
man.
that
He
boy
didn't
was
he didn't want
running.
yeah, he didn't want any part of me, but you know, but who knows, you know, maybe he did want to fight and the UFC just didn't want to make the fight. You know, the UFC is very smart with the way they build their stars, they build their guys, and Paddy Pimblett was a chosen one. You know, they chose him because they saw the potential, they saw the star power, and I mean, Paddy is an awesome fighter too. You know, he's very skilled,
It's good.
but they picked his opponents perfectly. You know, they gave him the right step up in competition at the right time. They built that star like the perfect way. You know, that's why they didn't give me that fight. I just knocked out Dober. I got on the mic. I called him out, and you know, they could have made that fight, but
Yep.
they probably saw, you know, that I have the potential to put that guy's lights out, and they're not going to risk that. So they gave him like some grappler. They gave him like Jordan Levitt instead, and
Hmm.
which was a better matchup for him, which was better to build his star power, and you know, but Patty still had to go in there and win these fights, which he's done, and he's one win away from a title fight now.
It's true.
Yo, Matt, being the banger that you are, right? I was thinking now that the UFC allows the north-south elbows, should they bring back the prior rules and allow the knees and socket kicks to the down to the head of a down opponent,
I
Mm.
mean,
a grounded
I'm
opponent?
definitely for that. I think because it's always like confusing, you know, the
That's
different
true.
they have the new rule set or the unified rule set, and it's like if your knees down, you can't knee him in the head, but if 2 feet are down and one hand is down, like and the hand is not weight bearing, you can knee him in the hand. But if the hand is weight bearing, you can't knee him in the head. I think they just got to take away all those rules. Let you knee it down an opponent on the ground and let us fight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, something new about the UFC. Another announcement they had is that there's not going to be no more pay-per-views next year. How do you think
Yeah.
that impacts the fighters financially? Is that a good thing for the fighters, or does it has its challenges? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's gonna affect the champions because the champions would get the pay-per-view points. So now there's no pay-per-views, so there's no pay-per-view points. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they handle that. Um, but for the rest of the fighters, you know, I don't think it's gonna affect us that much, but you'd hope that all the purses would go up. Dana said that the bonuses will go up. But I mean, this company just got paid $7 billion.
Oof.
They need to spread that to the fighters at least a little bit. At least give us some health insurance. Like, come on.
Yeah. And we're talking about the pay-per-view model going out now with the streaming rights. Now they're doing even though it's on Netflix or whatever it's going to be on, they're having ads in those fights,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they're still making that money that way. You see the Super Bowl, you see these big playoff games, whether it's baseball, hockey, they're making a boatload of money from those ads.
They're
So
making
money's still
so
going to be
much
coming
money,
in,
man. They're making
right?
so much money and they're just keeping us as independent contractors. Just but you hope that it's going to change, man, but we'll see.
Is there any
And
change
grow
in the
with other
future? Or you got any
investors.
hope for that? Oh, I'm sorry, David.
I mean, I definitely have hope for it, but especially they just had that antitrust lawsuit, so a
Mm,
bunch of the fighters got paid out from that. But I think that they're probably gonna have more lawsuits down the road, unless they start taking care of the fighters and start spreading the wealth and giving the fighters a fair piece of the pie.
mm,
All right.
Gotcha.
yeah.
Shizo?
Yeah, let me ask you, man. I heard you like conspiracy theories, right?
Yeah.
So I got a funny question for you,
Here we go. Here we go.
right? Let's say you are in a fight, you have a fight in Japan, right? And you have that long ride in the flight, and there's only one person back and forth next to you. Who would that person be between Joel Romero, Kobe Covington, Sean Strickland, Derrick Lewis, and Conor McGregor?
Matt will be like, nah, that's all right. I'll walk.
Oh man. I mean,
I
I
mean, I
I
would take
think
any of them, to be honest. But I'm saying we want to know you.
I think the Black Beast would be awesome. I think he's hilarious. I think we'd be joking around the whole time. But also, I mean, which Conor McGregor are we talking about? Are we talking about
Yeah.
Conor McGregor like 7 8 years ago, the motivated like awesome Conor McGregor? Or are we talking about McGregor right now who's doing lines in the bathroom? And I mean both. I think both of them would be fun to sit next
You
to,
think he's doing
honestly.
that?
I mean, he's got some issues that he's trying to figure out for sure.
Man, isn't
Yeah.
he like running for president?
Allegedly, I mean, he's
Prime Minister.
trying
I
to.
think I saw him,
Allegedly.
man.
Yeah, and yeah, that's
I
what he's
thought he
going
was
for.
more serious. I saw him training the other day a couple of times.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
I think he's definitely I think he's definitely got some fight in him. I hope that he fights again. I hope that he kind of, gets his life together, figures his stuff out, deals with whatever he's got to deal with and gets back in the ring cuz you don't want to see, a great story like that kind of end like this.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you say Derrick Lewis, and then you mentioned Connor, and I want to ask you. I know you met Connor in Dubai, I think it was, and he was gonna fight this guy Dustin Poirier, and you saw Connor, and you walk up to him. Whatever you guys were talking, took pictures and all. Who were you really rooting for that fight that day? Dustin or Connor?
Man, I was probably rooting for Connor honestly back then. I mean, I love Poirier now, especially I love Poirier. He's the man. And I'm usually always rooting for Dustin, but I think back then I was probably rooting for Connor, especially because I met him and he was cool when we met. He was like very down to earth. He seemed like a normal guy, um, and yeah, probably that I was rooting for Connor.
That was in his most humble phase during that
Yeah,
time, huh?
it was.
Of
Yo,
bald Connor.
I heard that you like to take your time, when you fight, like the proper time to prepare. So happens to be that last night, Gene Silva fought Diego Lopez. But I was thinking before that, if they called you in 20, and they say in 24 hours, we get you in Brazil, would you take that fight with Gene Silva? Is that something that you would do, to fight
If
a crazy opponent like that in a crazy environment like Brazil? They give you the
I
proper
mean,
the proper money, the proper
if
compensation.
if it was at 170, I can't make that cut to 155 on 24
No, I'm
hours
saying
notice.
let's say they open the way, say like open way, like we work that out.
Yeah, I think I probably would then.
You would.
My man's ready year
Okay.
I
round.
would. I think I
He's
would.
ready to go, man.
What do you
Yeah, I
think of that
mean,
fight last night, bro?
Diego Lopes is the man. Like I remember Diego Lopes was making his UFC debut, and it was the night that I was fighting Dober, Aljamain was fighting Cejudo, and I was talking a bunch with him during the fight week. He was actually in our locker room warming up too. And like ever since then, I was always watching him and rooting for him, and just to see, where he's gone from then, in such a short period of time. That was in 2023, and it's look at where he's at now. He lost his UFC debut to Mosvar. It was in Jersey, and now he's just gone on such a run, and he's exciting, man. He could finish the fight anywhere. His jujitsu is amazing, his striking is amazing, and he's got that killer instinct. But I knew he was gonna have a tough fight with Silva, because Silva's a beast too. uh but I was rooting for Diego, and I'm definitely glad he came out on top.
I thought the whole time that he was gonna lose, man. Let me ask you: do you think the MMA world deserves a rematch, like right away, from these two guys? Because that was an awesome fight. That was a crazy fight.
I mean, I don't think anybody's going to be mad about a rematch, but I think Diego's probably looking for a title fight now. He's after a big win like that. You want to get the biggest fight you can get. So, like for him to take a immediate rematch, I don't think he's going to want to do that. He's going to want to like either get a title fight or get a number one contender fight. So,
I
but
mean,
I
but he's
wouldn't
the
be
number
mad
two
for
contender
it.
in case they don't give it to him.
I
Is
mean,
that the right call? If they don't give him the championship,
to
because
do
he
it.
recently lost the championship.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no, I don't think they should do an immediate rematch. He finished them.
Yep.
It was
Got you.
there's no question in a finish.
Got you. Hey, you mentioned your boy Sterling Argument. What do
Yeah.
you think of the fight with Ortega? Because it was kind of like a weird fight, man. First of all, he looked impressive, but like there's some things that I was discussing with my boys, right? Like the night before, this guy was all limping. Then he goes into the fight. I don't see him limping, and then he poke him in the. I mean, he said that he was poking the eye, but he was clearly not poking the eye. But just still, Herb didn't stop the fight. And at the end, Herb Dean said, like in the fifth round, he's like stopping the fight, like, "Hey, Aljo, you need to stop running or something." Like he was clearly winning the fourth round. So what do you think about the whole thing?
Yeah, Aljamain was really not happy with Herb Dean and the refs after that fight, because I mean, he was fighting his fight. He was fighting a very smart fight. One thing about Aljamain is he's like one of the smartest fighters I know. Like he breaks down opponents so well, and he goes in there with such a game plan, and he's so tactical. And that was an amazing win. It might have not been the most exciting fight that you'll see, but Aljamain went in there and he beat Ortega with his striking too. He didn't need to use his wrestling. Aljo's one of the best wrestlers in the world, one of the best grapplers in the world, and he didn't need to use really any of that. He was beating Ortega on the feet. He had a beautiful jab. His movement was beautiful, and he didn't need to use his wrestling. So, Aljo's he's got such high fight IQ that he knew that all he needed was his jab, his movement, and he could get the win. He was never really, never in there just to force a finish. He was winning the fight, and he just kept doing what he had to do to win the fight. And Herb was like telling him to stop. Like that was great movement. Like that Herb Dean needs to let him fight a little bit and kind of just not not say anything. But it was an awesome fight for Aljo. I'm happy for him, and I hope he gets his title fight.
If Aljo, do you think he ever fights Peter Jan again, like a Aljo Jan 3? And if so, what do you think happens? What's your prediction?
Jan would have to go up to 145, which I don't see happening. But if they have another fight, I think Aljo beats him again. I was in Jacksonville when Aljo beat Jan, for real. I was also in Vegas when Jan kneed Aljo on the ground so for Aljo to win the title. Um, but just to kind of watch how Aljo took that illegal knee and kind of won the belt like that, and then everybody was just just shitting on him for winning the title on a legal knee, and they were just the trolls were out, just seeing how Aljo dealt with that, and he kind of turned it on its head and was like making jokes out of it. And then they had that fight rebooked, and everybody was saying Aljo was gonna get killed. Aljo was gonna get killed. And then he went to Jacksonville, and he fought another amazing fight. It was a close fight, but Aljo beat him and won the title. It was amazing.
You see him as a champ soon?
What'd you say?
Do you think he's gonna become a champ again soon?
Yeah, I think he definitely has what it takes. He looks great at 145. I think the weight cut to
There he
135
goes.
was hurting him a little bit. And he just beat Ortega. I think I think it's either him or Lerone Murphy for a title shot at Volk next.
Yeah, man. So we heard, we saw your posts. You got your next fight lined up against Kyle Nelson, another vet. Both of you guys were on a big fight win streak. So what are you looking for in this next fight coming up? It's a big fight, man. This is a banger between you and Kyle Nelson.
Yeah, man. It's out in Vancouver. He's Canadian, so I'm going to enemy territory again, which definitely excites me, man. I love it. I love going to a new city, going to a new country, and having a good fight. And he's good, man. He's been fighting for 15 years. He's got 10 fights in the UFC. He fought our boy Billy Q. Our boy Billy Q knocked him out, which is good. Good to know. He's a 45er coming up to 55. So I think I gotta welcome him with the big dogs. He ain't with he ain't with those featherweights anymore. I gotta show him big body steam. But
Right.
as a 45er, he was known to gas out a little bit, and that's kind of what Billy Q did to him. Billy Q just kind of classic Billy Q dragged him to deep water, tired him out, and then knocked him out. So I think I could do the same thing. He's a striker first. He's got very good kickboxing. But I think I could knock him out or I could submit him. I want to push the pace on him and break him, just like our boy did. And I'm excited, man. Billy Q's actually going to come out to Vancouver and corner me again. We're
Nice.
bringing the boys back, just like the old days. So I'm looking forward to that. And
Nice.
Nice. Well, what's that date coming up for that fight? It'll be in
uh,
October, right?
yeah, October 18th. So just about 5 weeks out.
October 18th, 5 weeks out. All right, guys. Make
So
sure you
if you
guys.
had a Dale,
Bad,
what was
bad.
it? No, so if you had to see, how do you see the fight ending, right? If you could prepare as best as possible. How do you see that fight ending for you?
I see me
Well,
knocking him out.
yeah,
I
exactly.
see, I see me knocking him out.
Yeah,
That's it right there, man. You know,
yeah,
that's what you
right.
want.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Well,
I'm
I
give us a
respect it
little
expecting
like that.
like first round, third
uh,
round.
first round, baby. Come on.
That's it. Yeah,
They're calling for that
you got to go
mystic
for you, man.
steamroller.
You got to
Yeah,
bet on
but
you.
I'm expecting a different animal though. I think he was always a 45er struggling to make weight. I think him at 55, he'll probably be able to train harder, not worry about his weight as much, and not kill himself to make weight as much. So I'm preparing for the best version of Kyle Nelson there is out there, and I know he's skilled. I respect him, and I'm ready to go out there and I'm ready for a 15-minute war if need be. So he's gonna get the best version of the steamroller, and I'm hoping that he brings the best version of the monster.
Nice.
So Matt, do you think you mentioned enemy territory? Do you think that plays into like if you go to him or he comes down to your area? You think that plays anything in your mind or in the back of your mind? You're like, oh man, I'm over here. I don't know he might have an advantage, mentally. I don't know.
No,
You think it plays
I
something? No,
no, I don't think it. In the end of the day, we're gonna step into that cage,
you're a warrior.
it-
Yeah.
and there's gonna be a ref in there to pull me off his limp body. That's
There it is.
all
There it is.
all
Hey,
the
Bola,
all the other
Shoot, wait. There it is. There it is.
all
what
the
was
other
that?
things, all the other things around it don't really matter. But it's fun, it's fun just to think about. It was cool to go to Paris and fight a French dude. It's cool to go to Canada and fight a Canadian. I want to go to Brazil and fight a Brazilian. I love traveling the world, fighting all different fighters from around the world, and fighting the best fighters from around the world. That's kind of why I'm in this. I love competing, and testing myself against the best fighters all around the world.
Well,
No,
in the
you
army
say
background, I mean, that's what you do when you're in the army, right? You go to all the places, you have to take it over there, right? So
That's
wait a minute. You say Brazil. Are you calling out somebody in Brazil?
No, I got my opponent right now, but Brazil's on my list, man. I've never been to Brazil. I've always wanted to go there.
So you don't have a
But
vision. You don't have a vision of somebody in Brazil specifically.
I mean, I'd like to go down there and mix it up with Moicano, see
Oh,
if
because
I'm
I
gonna.
have a nest right here. Actually, I have a question for you. Fight, train, sent to retirement, and I got a few people from your division, and one is Renato Moicano, Jared Gordon, and Drakkar Close. Who do you fight? Who do you train? Who do you send to retirement?
I think I'll train with your car close because that is he seems cool and he seems like a hard worker. No nonsense. Um, I'll fight Moicano. And then I think Jared Gordon's had a great career. He's got a great story. So let him sail off into the
The
sunset.
sunset.
there it is.
But
Nice.
I like
All
all
right.
I like all those guys.
So what about this one? Respect, eliminate, or invite for drinks. And we got Kumaro, we got George Mastival, and we got Colby Compton.
So okay, respect.
Respect, eliminate, or invite to drinks for drinks.
Okay, I respect Usman. Kamaro was one of the best champions at the 170. He was untouchable for a while. Um, and I'm drinking with Masvidal all day, and
Oh
then
yeah.
Col- Colby can Colby needs to figure his shit out.
All right. Let me ask you, man. You said you like the Jets, right?
Jet up.
So who do you think was better, Marshall Falk or Corey Martin?
Curtis Martin all day. Curtis Martin was the man, man. Come on, he
There's no
was.
there's no bias. There's no bias in there.
Nah. He was gritty. He wasn't all flashy. He wasn't big. But he was always good. So and we got a big game today. We're playing the Bills at 1. I actually just hit up Billy Q.
Oh
Told him that
wow.
I was talking some shit to Billy Q, and we made a bet. We said the loser has to wear the opposite team's jersey when we're in
Oh,
Vancouver. So
oh,
Oh
we're gonna
man.
be seeing you're gonna be seeing Billy Q rocking a Jets jersey up in
Jets.
Vancouver. It's gonna be
so
great.
Wait, so so
inside
so let me ask you,
information.
who's your favorite QB of all times?
Ah, my favorite. Uh, I mean, Jets. We don't really have very good quarterbacks, honestly. So, but I mean,
Well, you have Brett
Yeah,
Favre for a while at
you could
least.
steal right. You could steal
You
some
get right
You
there.
you can still claim him.
I loved the Sanchez, Mark Sanchez. You know, he was the
Mark
man.
last.
Sanchez.
He
What a
was the
pick.
last guy. Yeah, he was the last guy to get us to the playoffs. But my favorite quarterback, I loved Donovan McNabb. I thought he was.
Okay.
I was always a big
How,
McNabb fan.
how do you feel about Marino?
I mean, he was great. He never took the Dolphins to any Super Bowls or anything, but he
No, no,
was he
he
was
took them
great.
to the Super Bowl. He didn't win it, but
Oh yeah, he didn't win it. He didn't
well,
win
well,
it.
you can tell. I mean, at least we're on the same boat as Billy with Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas, right?
Yeah, yeah. My
Well,
brother's a big
well, they were
Dolphins
four times.
fan.
All right, so all right, man. Let me ask you: if you have to pick a personality to call your fight, right? Somebody that has this type of energy and voice. Who would it be between? We got Chael Sonnen, Snoop Dogg, Donald Trump, or Cat Williams.
It's it's gonna
Who's
be
picking your championship fight? Who's announcing that you are the champ?
Snoop Dogg all day. Snoop Dogg all like
Snoop
when I
Doggy Dog.
yeah when I was in contender series, my contender series fight, Snoop Dogg commentated it, and he was like during the commentating he was like, oh man, this guy's the steamroller, I'm the weed roller, and then he was going like oh, this guy's all gas no brakes, he's all gas no brakes. And then like once like I heard that, I kind of started running with that, and I got it in my bio till this day, all gas no brakes
That's
from
fire.
Snoop
Yeah,
Dogg.
that's you Matt. You just reminded me. That's right. He also had this one. Who was it? Oh, what's this guy? The guy that he fought out Joe for the championship.
O'Malley.
O'Malley. He say I can go through any alley with O'Malley. Right? Didn't he say something like that?
Yeah, he said something, but it was awesome. It was the first season of the Contender Series. They had the Snoop cast, and
That's
it
awesome.
was it was it was Snoop Dogg and Uriah Faber commentating, and you could kind of choose. You could either listen to like the regular commentating, or you could listen to the Snoop cast, and
Oh wow.
they need to bring that back because I thought that was so cool.
That was awesome,
And
Nice.
man.
another
So
funny
you
story
got
about that, the old that season of the Contender Series, there was no Apex. Like it was before the Apex, so it was in the old Ultimate Fighter gym, and the old Ultimate Fighter gym was like a warehouse, and it was like so hot in there. And I remember walking out to my fight, and it just reeked of weed. It just smelled all of weed
freaking
because
that's Snoop's
Snoop
hair.
Dogg Snoop
It's
Dogg
his
was
hair.
just smoking blunts like in like the next room over, and there was like no walls. It was the
Shit.
whole
Going
place smelled
everywhere.
like weed. It was awesome.
It was no proper insulation, man. That's the problem. Hey, so I was gonna ask you, man. You mentioned now the Heat, but didn't you fight in Costa Rica with this 9-0 cat that never lost, all by knockouts, and didn't you have to fight in like the rain or some shit like that?
Yeah, man, that was my fourth amateur fight, and I got to go to Costa Rica to fight like their hometown hero. Guy was 9-0, and we fought in a bullfighting arena. It
Mm.
was a bullfight, and they said and it was a ring, and it was outside, and it was the first thing I ever like got out of fighting. It was a free trip to Costa Rica. I was like an amateur, nobody gets paid as amateurs. And I was like, "Oh man, you're gonna fly me out here for free. You're gonna pay for my food, pay for my hotel." I was like, "This is awesome," and it was a crazy fight, man. He was good, and I remember like the first round he came out and he like rocked me in the first round. He was a really good striker, and then the next round it started raining on us, and
Oh,
the mat got so slippery, and I just got such easy takedowns after that. I got an easy takedown, and I just pounded him out and armbarred him and won my first amateur title. So
That's sick.
the fight gods were on my side.
I thought you were a nice guy, man. Did
use
you
the
retire that
environment to
cat?
your advantage. Go ahead, Diesel, go ahead.
Did you retire that cat, man? Because like, did you
No,
ever
no,
hear from him again?
yeah, he kept fighting. He went pro and had a good pro career. Um, yeah, I think he's like a black belt down there now. Like I think he owns a school. He's a good dude.
Yo, Matt,
Any
who wins? Who you
crazy?
think wins? Go ahead, Bola. Go ahead.
No. I was going to ask him. He'd been around the world. He had any crazy interactions with any fans out there? Like, whoa, what is this? Something like that.
Yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. Like I remember one time I was going to Thailand for a training camp, and my flight I went from like JFK to Moscow, from Moscow
Yeah.
to Phuket to Thailand, and I was in like this was like I maybe had like one fight in the UFC, and I was in a airport in Moscow, and like somebody came up and like recognized me, and I was like,
Ooh.
like how is somebody recognizing me in Moscow? And like kind of like little things like that. It's still wild to me that people like know who I am and recognize me, like, so it's the little things like that I don't take for granted, and like if anybody ever recognizes me, I just think it's the coolest thing, and I'm happy to talk with anybody, so it's cool.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Nice, man. Let me ask you, who do you think wins in the prime? GSP or Frank Shamrock?
GSP, man, GSP was the best. He's so tactical, such a high fight IQ, so well rounded. Nobody beats GSP
So
in
you
his
sure?
prime.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, okay. It sounds like you're convinced. Okay. Let me ask you, man. Are you into movies?
Yeah, I love movies.
All right. So, can you give me your best quote, your best line on training day?
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
Come on, Tiso, that's too easy, man. Yeah, that's an easy one
Hey,
right there.
maybe he says the next time he knocks out, Kyle Nelson or something.
Yeah, well, let me ask you. Yeah, for the next fight, if
Maybe he
if
goes,
the
King Kong ain't
UFC,
got shit on me.
yeah,
Yeah.
for the next fight, if UFC will allow, will you have like a walkout theme? Any song, any performer live, anything that you will like.
Yeah, I would have my boy Timmy Trumpets come and walk me out. I walk out to his song Narco, and I got to meet him. He brought me to a show once, and I got to go
Nice.
on stage for Narco, my walkout song, and it was like it was unreal. I felt like a rock star. It was so cool, and
That's
Timmy
sick.
Trumpets is like a huge UFC fan. So as soon as he found out that like I walk out to his song, he hit me up, and we're buddies now. It's crazy.
Oh,
Nice.
that's cool, man. That's cool.
Actually heard he's gonna be here in Tampa sometime this month.
Oh man, I gotta come down.
I think it's like end of the month he'll be in Tampa.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
Heck
he's
yeah.
awesome.
Yo, Matt, we all know you're a very tough guy, man. So I got a question, man. Did you cry when Mufasa died?
Gotta
I
be
don't.
honest.
I'm gonna say I probably didn't cry, but now being a father,
Mm-hmm.
like I think the next time I watch it, I probably would shed a tear because
Changes your feeling. You're a changed man after that.
I
After that,
know.
having a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
You
All
want to
right,
know
so I
one
gotta
that'll
know.
get oh
Go
that
ahead, go
new
ahead.
Mufasa movie will get your feelings going.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good,
Oh, I
man.
haven't
Yeah,
seen it.
it was
I
good.
still I still gotta watch all like the new Disney remakes. I'm an old
Yeah,
school cartoon guy, I guess.
I feel that.
Yo, Matt, I'm gonna give you about three names. If you have to choose one of these persons, right, to manage your career, and you can only choose one, who would it be? You ready for this?
Ready.
Suge Knight. 1. Number 2. Number 2. P. Diddy.
Oh, man.
Number 3. Hillary.
Wow,
Man.
those are three tough choices, man.
That's the only 3 you get.
Come on, man.
I guess out of those three, I gotta choose Suge Knight. He seems like a probably because I can't be having Diddy in there. Definitely not Hillary. Suge Knight seems like he'll probably be a good businessman and stand his
Right.
ground when need be.
That's
Just
the
don't piss
craziest
him off.
thing.
That's it.
Nobody hanging out the window.
That's the
Yeah,
craziest
if he
thing.
has to.
Out of those 3 names, Suge Knight is a choice.
All right, man. So if we take a roll back, in history, and you could choose a dream fight. I'm gonna give you a couple of suspects. Who would you think that you would love to fight? Who would be your dream fight out of these people right here, right? 1, Ken Shamrock. 2, Don Fry. 3, Chuck Liddell. 4, Quentin Jackson, and I'm gonna throw a 5th, Dan Henderson.
I mean, I'm huge fans of all those guys. I love Dan Henderson, Hendo, like that H bomb. I mark my F bomb after that. I would have to say, I think me and the Iceman. That'd be. I mean, Chuck Liddell is a legend. Like he was the face of the UFC. He was like probably the
Mhm.
first UFC fighter I really knew. Oh, that crazy guy with that mohawk. I think so. That would be pretty cool to being there with him.
Nice.
So that will be a dream fight, Chuck Liddell. And let me ask you, now that you mentioned Hendo, and something came to my head when you said that. You remember that power bomb that he dropped on Michael Bisping when he was already out, and he kind of
Oh
like
yeah,
flew and landed with a punch right in his
yeah, that was
face. Like,
insane.
I mean, I don't think Bisping noticed it after that. But
Nah. Well,
do
they
you
were
do
on
you think
the
you
they
ever do something like that?
no. I mean, I think when you're fighting, it's like you gotta finish the fight. You don't stop until the ref pulls you off them. I always think about that. If I get like a clean knockout, at what I knowing not to jump on them and stop. But when I fought Azatar, I knocked him out clean, and I probably could have stopped, but I kept hammering down until the ref pulled me off him. But
Right.
also like that guy needed that. That guy deserved that. So
Yeah.
So let me ask you. I got another one for you. You know, a lot of people they're moving nowadays to the bare knuckle fight and power slap and things of that nature. Um, if you ever walk into one of those power slap things and you have to choose one of your opponents, uh, which one would you choose out of these ones? You ready?
ready.
Max Holloway, Ignacio Bahamondes, Robbie Lawler, Hector Lombard, or one of the Diaz brothers?
Uh, I mean, out of those guys, Ignacio
Talking about
Bahamondes,
slap.
I don't think he's got a good slap. I don't. He's definitely he's a little skinny. Um, but and then the Diaz brothers they got good slaps, but I would definitely like to slap them.
That'd be interesting.
Okay, so you would take your chances with Ignacio, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So being from New York, right? Who would you like if you had to choose one of these cats, to walk you out, or one of these rappers to walk you out? I know Bola says something similar, but if you have to choose, you could get either the Wu Tang, LL Cool J, DMX, Mob Deep, and the fifth is gonna be La Coca Nostra. They have some people in Boston too. So which one would you choose to walk out to?
DMX all day. That would be hard.
Rest in
Any
peace.
any
Keep the
particular
blood pumping,
song?
man.
X gonna give it to you,
Yeah, that's right.
or where the hood at.
Okay.
That's hard.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So Um, let me ask you something else. Your team, you are with Sarah and Longo, right?
Yep.
Do you consider that team to be the best team right now?
Yeah, yeah, I think we're best team in the world. You know, I always you gotta believe in your team. We got great coaches, we got great fighters. We put in the work. Yeah, I mean,
So if you were
Murad,
to compare,
we got arguably the best fighter in the world right now, Murad. Um, Murab's, I mean, he's kind of out in Vegas now, but we still claim him.
if if you were to argue that that's the best team of all times, right? And you have five representatives, right? To go with the five representatives of all the teams, would you say that they're better than either AKA Academy, American Top Team, Shooter Box,
Yeah,
Lions
well,
Dance?
right now there's only two teams that have had four UFC champions, and Sarah Longo is one of them. We had Matt Serra, Chris Weidman, Marab, and Aljo. I think AKA is the only other team that's had four champions. So I think we're up there.
So if you were to put Masera, Whiteman, Aljo, Merab, and you against AKA, that would be Daniel Comer, I'm sorry, Ken Velasquez, Luke Rockhold, Khabib, and let's say Josh Thompson. How do you arrange that, and who wins?
Dang, that's a dream card right there.
I mean, we win. I mean,
How would you arrange that?
because well, it'd have to be us five against their five all at the same time, and then we would work better together because
No, no, no,
we're
no, no,
all
no, 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 but wait. You talking like a Russian
Royal
type of
Rumble.
mob fight? No, no, no. I'm
yeah,
talking
like
about
Yeah,
five
like
on
Royal
like a
Rumble.
five.
card, like
Well,
Pride used to do it. They used to
well,
bring Team
it's all
Japan versus
different
Team
weight
Brazil.
classes, so it's you
But
gotta
that's what.
it's.
Yeah, yeah. But so you say you don't
I'm
have
saying
representation.
five on five in the parking lot.
Street rules.
So in the parking lot as a team, you think you guys win?
Yeah, we got that New York grit. Those guys. You know,
So now that you mention it, like who would you have as a heavyweight representation in your team? Who's the
we
biggest guy
don't
you guys have there?
we don't
Because they
have
had
too.
Daniel Cormier and
Yeah,
Velasquez. So
and we don't got too many big guys, but we find somebody. We find
Wyman,
somebody.
Wyman will have to take it up.
Weidman would have to.
Yeah.
And who would you pick out of those guys? Like Josh Thompson, Josh Kochek, Fitch, Mike Swick. Who do you take?
I'd definitely. I'd like to beat up Koscheck. I think that would be fun.
That's a
All
name
right,
I haven't
man.
heard of
So
it.
before I ask you the last question, like guys, I know I talk a lot. So Bola Sensei, before I ask him the last question, you guys have questions for Matt?
Yeah, I got one. For my jiu-jitsu people. So Matt, you're a highly decorated fighter. You got your brown belt in jiu-jitsu. What's your number one submission and why? Do you have a story behind it? Do you have a reason why?
Yeah, I mean, jujitsu was definitely my first love. I love jujitsu, and I love triangle chokes. I like
Okay.
when I first started doing. I always thought it was like so cool that you could like submit somebody with your legs. And I just knew that like you need to have like technique to be able to do a triangle choke. Like anybody could just grab somebody's neck and rear naked choke or crank a guillotine, but to be able to submit somebody with your legs, you need to have technique and train and know what you're doing. And then
True.
my first jujitsu match ever, I got a triangle choke, which I thought was so cool because I was like a wrestler. That it was I think I had like 3 months of training, and then they bumped me up to intermediate because I wrestled in high school, and I was going against some guy, and like I took him down and was like wrestling him, and then like I wanted to use my jujitsu, and I somehow like got into a scramble and like got a triangle, and I finished him with a triangle choke. And after that, I think I fell in love with jiu-jitsu.
Man, guys, it's hard to get a wrestler to do triangles, man. For you to be doing it in 3 months, that's
Yeah, it
awesome.
was
Hell yeah.
yeah, it was cool.
Hell yeah. Bola.
Hey, Matt,
No,
is there? Yeah, go ahead, Bola. Go ahead.
no. I just want to say, you had a question, but I was going to say just for the guys, that watches us and our other channel too, because we got a big, decent following on the other one. I just want to say, make sure you remember October 18, Rogers Arena, Vancouver, British Columbia. Frevola, the Steamroller versus Nelson. There we go. And Bola, my name too. I support you, man. You my guy.
Yeah,
Oh, Bola,
Just want
yeah.
Bola,
to say that.
you couldn't say in Snoop Dogg voice, man.
Hell no, man.
Something like for
I got
cheese
no
or
voice.
diesel? No.
There you go. You got it. You got it down.
All right. So let me ask you, Matt. In your team, in the Longo gene, is there anybody that's not famous that you foresee that's gonna be like the next guy to watch out of your team? Is there one name that you can say right away on the top of your head?
Yeah, we got a bunch of guys actually, but Damian Nelson, he's a Jamaican fighter. He's on like a 5 fight winning streak. He just had a win for PFL. I think we were hoping he was gonna get a contender series fight, but he didn't. But I think he'll be UFC. He's definitely UFC caliber. I'm excited for him. And then we just had a guy on contender series, Freddie Vidal, who's a big guy. He's a 205er, and he took the fight on like a week's notice, and he's only 3-0 as a pro, and he fought a guy who was 8-0 from Brazil, a black belt from Brazil, and Freddie went in there and like they both gassed, like they both got so tired, but Freddie just like out dogged them, and just like he rear naked choked him in the third round, got the win. So I'm real happy for him. He didn't get the contract, but Dana White's gonna bring him back in 5 weeks, so I'm hoping that he'll be able to get a contract on the last episode.
There's a couple of people that you were scheduled to fight at one point, and those fights didn't happen. One, I think it was who was it? Mike Perry. What happened with the fight?
Yeah, I mean, I always had a bunch of fights like guys pulling out. That just happens to everybody, and I think like I was supposed to fight this one guy. He backed out, and then like they offered me Mike Perry at like 170 for a late replacement. I was like, oh hell yeah, let's do it. I accepted it because I had sold all these tickets, and then the fight like fizzled out. Just who knows what happened, but then just never happened.
I'm
But
trying
I
to
was
remember. There was somebody else besides Mike Perry that was
But it's
canceled,
funny,
and I was
man.
like,
I would have fought Mike Perry for like $300, so it's probably better it didn't happen.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
"All right, Matt.
you had a few fights fall out like that.
Yeah, man. 2020 was a tough year for me. Like I had like 5 fights canceled on me just
That shit was
due to
crazy.
due to COVID, due to injuries,
Yeah.
due to whatever. But we're still doing it. So
I got one last question, man. You know how Chael Sonnen, he's great with the mic, and he's always, telling stories. Is there any story that's fun, like a gym story that you can share with us? Something fun.
um something.
I
I
mean,
mean,
you train with Pete Drago, with Sarah, with all these
I'll
cats.
I'll give you I'll give you a good one with Billy Q. In 2020, um, like I had like one of the best fight camps I've had. I was supposed to fight Frank Camacho, and then me and Billy jump on a plane. It's during COVID. It's 2020. We're flying over there, and I'm sitting next to Billy, and he just like starts coughing and stuff. And I'm like, we're joking around. I'm like, what, you got COVID or something? He's like, oh, yeah, yeah, I got COVID, joking around. And then we get to the hotel, you know, they test us, and then I get a call, and Billy Q, he actually had COVID. So I was the first fight to ever get canceled due due to COVID in 2020.
Fucking
Yeah,
And
thanks,
Billy.
Billy.
Yeah, and then
Goddamn Billy.
and I was like, and then they didn't let me fly home because I was with Billy Q. So they said, all right, you have two options. We'll pay for a hotel for 2 weeks. You could stay quarantined in Vegas for 2 weeks, or we could get you a car and you could drive back to Tampa from Vegas. So we were like, all right, get us the car because we're not just gonna stay
Heck
quarantined
no.
in Vegas for 2 weeks.
You can't
So
get out.
so
That's the
we
problem.
so they get us the car and they go, listen, you can't make any stops though, because you have COVID. Like you have to just drive straight to Tampa. And like we look at each other, we're like, yeah, okay. And then like as soon as we leave the hotel, we just like turn to like the nearest dispensary and just and just like load up, get ready for, and then we had to just drive like 20 hours back to Tampa with Billy Q, and then I remember watching the fight, just see Camacho get knocked out, and I looked at Billy Q, I'm like, thanks, bro. He
It's
like but
supposed to be you.
he still owes me 50 grand for that. So
After this day, you still bring it up.
Damn.
Keep
yeah,
reminding him.
What do you even do in Vegas, man, when you're not fighting or when you're not preparing for the fight? Like, what do you
Many
do for
things to
fun?
do there.
I remember back in the days, I used to go and like I met all these fighters. Like, I'm talking about when Kem Shamrock, Tito Ortiz, and nobody would realize who they were. And after like 10 years of me going to Vegas, I realized that I couldn't even move anymore because everybody was out there for the fighters. So how do you handle stuff like that when you are in Vegas?
I love going to Vegas. So they got the Performance Institute, the PI, and like I'm at the PI every day. It's like Disney World for fighters there. It's like everything's free. They have the state of the art, like everything. It's like I could just hang out there all day. Like they have little like nap pods. They have like cool little areas where you could just hang out and chill. Then they have like the like cages, the bags, the workout equipment. They have the hot tub, the cold plunge. Like I just go to the PI and train all day. Like and then I like to go to the Sphere. That Sphere is crazy. I'll go to a show at the
Yeah, it
Sphere.
looks cool.
Um,
That looks
I'll
cool.
try. I went to the
Did
Contender
you see the Backstreet Boy
Series.
ones?
No, I didn't see the Backstreet Boys,
Just messing
but
with you.
but I would
It's
like
probably good.
I'll
Yeah,
go
they're good.
anything at that Sphere is probably insane.
It's got to be. It's got to
Were
be.
you there
It
for
looks
that
awesome.
fight card?
No, I wasn't there for the fight. That
Okay.
must have been
Look,
unreal.
looked insane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, Diesel?
All right, Bola. Any questions before
Guys,
we let Matt go?
No, I'm good. I mean, I appreciate the time, taking time out of the day just to be here with us, hang out for a little bit, some questions, and anybody that's got any comments, just leave them down below. And appreciate you for being here, man.
yeah, appreciate you guys for having me. David's the man. We've been training for a while. So I'll always jump on whenever you guys want.
Like, yeah,
All right, man.
appreciate it,
Oh
big
Appreciate it,
yeah,
man.
my
man.
You're our
man.
guy.
Matthew, I wish you lots of luck on your next fight. So hopefully you bring back the win
I
and see
will.
you on
I
the next one,
will.
man.
Tell him,
Appreciate
tell
you
him,
guys.
tell him one more time, Frevola. Where can we watch? When?
We can.
October 18th. It should be on ESPN. And then follow my socials if you want to update with Fight Camp and all that. I should be definitely posting a bunch of stuff promoting the fight. I appreciate the support, guys.
Heck yeah,
Have a
man.
good
We're here for you.
have
And
a
like I
good
said,
My
one.
you're a
Thank you,
man.
guy.
Matt.
Appreciate
Take
you,
care, buddy.
brother.
Appreciate it, Matt. Have a good one.